So, this video about obesity and critique of the Calorie model and the modified carnivore diet as a cure of obesity. So, again, we have to rethink obesity. We have to find, because this a lot of Americans, for example, and suffer from obesity. Why it is happening? Why it is okay? And it is also shortening the lifespan. So if you want to live a long and healthy life, you need your body in good shape. Okay, let's go. As always, I recommend you to download presentation as PDF file from the link in the description. Then you will get access to this links to understand better, and also to the source of information to make your own research. Don't rely on my opinion, because I am professional scientist with PhD in physics and mathematics, and last 5 years I work in biology related to health and longevity. So I do this research mostly for myself, but also some clients, some people support my project, and I hope I will help them to live forever young, or at least a few hundred years. And I believe that, again, maybe in 50 years, it will be already very common knowledge how to live a few hundred years or longer. Okay, let's go. So the problem, rethinking the cause of obesity. The conventional view attributes obesity to a simple caloric imbalance, so excess consumption of fat and sugars, and insufficient exercise. Food recommendation in the dietary guidance for Americans. Okay, you can read this. I give the link, so you can, don't rely on me. So just, okay, what I copied from there. All types of vegetables and beans, it is dark green, red orange beans and peas and lentils, starch and other vegetables recommended. Fruits, especially whole fruits, grains, at least half whole grains. Again, this is complete, in my opinion, this is complete nonsense. Dairy is low fat milk. Stupid. Okay, I mean, okay, this is my opinion. Yogurt, cheese, and fortified soy alternatives, very dangerous. Okay, protein, lean meats, poultry, eggs, seafood, beans, peas, lentils, nuts, seeds, and soy products. Okay, again, it is what is highly recommended. Vegetable oils and oils in seafood and nuts. Okay, so there cannot be, and this is okay, just picture from this recommendation. You see that it is, again, most of calories you're supposed to get from grains, and then fruits and vegetables as a source of fibers, dietary fibers. Again, it is so opposite to healthy food, in my opinion, but okay, this is my opinion. Okay, accordingly, the amount of saturated fat in the diet proposed to be no more than 10% of total calories. Wow! So for the 2,000 calorie diet, it is about 200 calories or 22 grams of saturated fat. I take 22 grams or maybe 50 grams of butter in the morning. So it's again, butter is the best source of saturated fat and healthy fat, and the rest is maybe eggs and fatty meat. So the recommended amount of sodium is less than 2,300 milligram per day. Nonsense. 5,000 milligram per day of sodium minimum. Okay, minimum. And then if you take more, just your kidney will remove the sodium, no problem. However, this conventional model fails to explain the modern epidemic of obesity. The analysis below proposes a different root cause. It is obesity is not a disorder of energy balance, but it is a protective mechanism and the consequence of consuming toxic and inflammatory dietary components, especially polyunsaturated fatty acids from industrial seed oils and toxins from grains and vegetables. Okay, the grains and vegetables, remember, they are toxic. So this is, again, you see that minimum 5 grams of sodium intake is necessary to reduce the mortality rate. If it is more, it is not a big problem. It is again, your kidney, if kidney normally work good, and they remove sodium, and especially if you follow ketogenic diet, you need more sodium, okay, more, because on ketogenic diet, kidney remove a lot of sodium, and so you suffer from sodium imbalance, actually. So what is the reason? Again, you see that it is, again, very easy to see that consumption of dietary fat was from 1960 to these days, is so that consumption of animal fats was dropping, not sharp, but yet dropping, but consumption of vegetable oils increased more than 2 times from 1960 to 2020, and obesity starting from 1980, when consumption of vegetable oils was high enough, obesity started to grow almost exponentially. Okay, this is the reason. This is the reason. So again, polyunsaturated fatty acids. So the central argument is a shift to industrial seed oils. It is soybean, corn, canola, sunflower, etc. is a primary driver of obesity and its associated diseases. Okay, you see, it's my opinion. Again, it is also proven by scientific publications that it is the cause of obesity. Toxins in seed oils, including phytosterols and including some polyunsaturated fatty acids. So, okay, the dangers. Okay, first, oxidation and cellular damage because of consumption of seed oils. Polyunsaturated fatty acids in seed oils are chemically unstable and prone to oxidation during production already in the bottle. If it is stored for long, it is already oxidizing, especially during cooking and heat treatment. And also it is oxidized within the body. Oxidized polyunsaturated fatty acids contribute to the formation of lipofuscin. It is a so-called aging pigment or aging spots in long-lived cells. It is neuron, fibroblasts, and stem cells. But okay, on skin it is like age spots, but it is everywhere in your neurons, fibroblasts, and stem cells everywhere. And they are central to development of atherosclerotic plaques via deposition of the oxidized low-density lipoprotein. What is oxidized low-density lipoprotein? It is particles that they deliver fat and fatty acids from your guts to the liver, and also from the liver to your cells. And they are, if they transport polyunsaturated fatty acids, they can be easily oxidized, and then it is these particles are the cause of atherosclerosis. So they deposition of this oxidized lipoprotein, low-density lipoprotein particles inside the wall of large arteries and in organs also of immune system, such as thymus, lymph nodes, and bone marrow, are absolutely very dangerous. So you see the composition of dietary fats, and the canola, sunflower is very toxic. It is a lot of polyunsaturated fatty acids. Oleic acid is considered, well, it's considered maybe not bad, but again, because why? Because the olive oil has a lot of the oleic acid, but again, it is not healthy. My opinion, olive oil is not healthy. It is very much promoted to consume olive oil. Don't consume it. First, it is mostly fake. Second, it has this polyunsaturated oleic acid composition. It is nothing healthy in it, nothing. But again, some oils, these seed oils, have omega-6, and omega-6 is very easy to get oxidized, and so it is corn oil, and which is also common, and and cotton seed oil again. This is not for food. It is industrial lubricants, these seed oils. They are industrial lubricants. I was doing research to reduce friction in engines and in cars, and any friction in this between metal parts. And I was using seed oil as the base of these lubricants, and they work perfect. So instead of eating these seed oils, we have to use them as lubricants. Of course, it is not the only component. There are some other components. So, but I managed to reduce friction 10-15% in the engine, and also consumption of fuel 10-15%. But the main advantage was reduction of wear. So between the friction, between the parts and friction. And reduction was 50 times. Imagine that your engine can last 50 times longer. So nobody interested, because it's not good for business. You are supposed to buy a new car with every 10 years. So it was because of this, it was not supported. I didn't get any money for this, despite the technically result was amazing. Okay, coconut oil has the largest amount of the saturated fat, and sometimes I have palm trees, coconut palm trees, and I eat these coconuts. Coconuts is good. But the best oil, I believe, yet butter. Butter is the best oil. Why? Because it is butyric acid. It has butyric acid, and butyric acid is very healthy. It is not only improves gut health, but also can go through the blood to brain, and it improves brain capacities and memory capacities. So it is lard is already not so good. But here I don't see the tallow. Tallow is also not bad for consumption. Good. Fatty beef is good. So, immune system dysfunction. Immune cells are especially macrophages that engulf oxidized low-density lipoprotein particles cannot digest them. We don't produce enzymes to digest them. Because why? Because humans in our evolution never were digesting seed oils. It is very recent introduction. And then because they cannot digest this oxidized low-density lipoproteins particles, they become lipid-filled dysfunctional form cells, trigger chronic inflammation by secreting pro-inflammatory cytokines, and can become senescent cells and driving chronic inflammation in the body. Okay, you can read. I rely on publications, not on opinion of medical professionals. So deposition of this oxidized low-density lipoprotein in the thymus is accelerating thymus involution. So over time, our thymus is here. It's a very important part of the immune system. And it is shrinking in size, but more dangerous that tissues in the thymus are replaced by adipose tissues, by depositions of fat. So bone marrow, the same problem. Bone marrow has a critical function in producing common progenitor cells, it is stem cells, during the hematopoiesis, so production of the blood cells. And it serves as a primary site for B cells development. Okay, if immune cells and your blood depends on bone marrow very much, and then deposition of this oxidized low-density lipoprotein particles is killing your immune system, is killing your ability to produce blood cells, and it is shortening your life. So, however, with age, replacement of stem cells in the bone marrow with adipose tissue leads to immunosenescence and reduction in the output of naive T cells and B cells in bone marrow. So you can read it again. Scientific research showed definitely that this adipose tissue, replacement of adipose of the functioning tissues in bone marrow and thymus is by fat is very, very dangerous. Okay, this slide demonstrates how the macrophages and leukocytes and macrophages try to engulf and digest, destroy these products of polyunsaturated fatty acids, oxidized polyunsaturated fatty acids, which react with proteins, but they cannot break them down, and they accumulated and swelling and inside, and then people call them foam cells. It is macrophages with a lot of fat inside, and then eventually they die out, and then it is this. They produce a signal for inflammation to attract more macrophages, but again, it is process just going. So, and officially there is no cure for atherosclerosis, but I got the cure. The cure is to is advanced bacterial enzymes which can break down these products of oxidized low-density lipoprotein, and also the product of reaction of fatty acids with proteins and glucose. So they break it down, and they work amazingly well, but problem that I cannot get funds to make a clinical trial, so I was doing it for myself and for few participants, and it worked amazingly well. But again, I cannot recommend it for use, because clinical trials are necessary, and no one university, no one medical organization support me, because it is very profitable business to work with atherosclerosis, and they call it okay, it cannot be reversed, and but they apply some statins and etc. So it is very profitable business. And again, mind that this modern medical care or disease care, actually, they this is a business. Every healthy person is lost client and lost money. So it is not in the business model of this industry to make you healthy. So okay, this again replacement of the functioning tissue with stem cells by fat. Sorry about noise. Okay, what else? Seed oils, they concentrate agricultural toxins. It is especially pesticides and herbicides, because again in Thailand, farmers use spraying a lot of these chemicals to protect the rice or other seeds from insects, and so much. Maybe in Germany, for example, it is not so much common. There are some norms, but in Thailand, they use these insecticides and to kill insects, and the result is terrible. So first, who suffer it is termites, but also bees. I used to have an apiary with 40 bee colonies. Now it is only 7. Why? Because just people, honey bee disappear because of these chemicals. They kill the insect and kill bees. Okay, also they have a lot of phytosterol. Phytosterols are they are toxins, actually. I consider toxins. Medical professional consider that you have to use phytosterols because they reduce consumption of or digestion of cholesterol, and they reduce amount of cholesterol, total cholesterol in the blood. But actually, if you look, if you don't trust a medical professional, but read scientific publications, you will see that it is shortening your lifespan, and it's also make you fatty, obese and sick. So okay, then adipose tissue is acting as a protective buffer to keeping them some toxins and also phytosterols from vital organs. Okay, this is normal. Your body is smarter than you. So if you consume a lot of seed oils with toxins, the body is putting these toxins in the adipose tissue, and of course the amount the fat amount of toxins the fat can keep it is limited, so the adipose tissue is growing because body needs better protection. Body needs storage, or large storage for these toxins. Okay, consequently, storing oxidized polyunsaturated fatty acids and toxins in adipose tissue is a protective measure, and it leads to fat accumulation, a process fundamentally different from storing excess calories from clean energy source. If you eat a lot of butter, you will never get very fat. Never, okay, because again, you eat butter, it is satiety, you will get very quickly satiety, and you don't want to eat more butter. But seed oils, is there everywhere. Cooking is much with the use of seed oils, and it is very healthy. It is in all processed foods, a lot of seed oils. Okay, and even phytosterols, especially fortified, especially added to some foods like sausages. Okay, the downside of this accumulation is that, problem that if you have so much toxins and then you try to reduce weight, and for example, you fasting, then fat is used for energy, mobilized for energy, but stored toxins are released back into the bloodstream, potentially create systemic issues and overload in the liver. And I tell you, previously, when I was not on this modified carnivore diet, I was trying to fasting, and then it is terrible. You feel yourself so terrible when you start to use fat for energy, like you fasting, then in few days you start use fat, accumulated fat, and then all these toxins go to your blood, to your brain, to your liver, and and it is terrible feeling. So you see that fasting or reduced calorie consumption is not a way to make you healthy and reduce obesity. Okay, this what is in Thailand normal, and every other Asian countries. Rice is heavily sprayed, and not only rice, all cash crops are so much with chemicals, so much that again this terrible. Okay, this all green vegetables, not only they have natural toxins in there, but they additionally sprayed with these toxins, and so what is happening is a disaster. The only way is just to stop eating this green vegetable, all vegetables, green or not, or tubers. Just stop it. So adipose tissue, not a storage, but a buffer, or not just a storage, but also buffer organ. So lipophilic toxins with long half-lives have been linked to various endocrine, immune, nervous, and reproductive system diseases. Adipose tissue is an active endocrine organ and critically a detoxification buffer. Its primary role in obesity may be to store unprocessed toxins and oxidized polyunsaturated fatty acids in fat cells and adipocytes. And it is a defense mechanism preventing immediate harm immediate harm from these toxins. You see, your body is smart. It is trying to protect you. And so if you have a lot of excess fat, it is just your body try to protect you. But because, again, the way to do it, you have to stop consumption of seed oils at all. Nuts, what it is, nuts or grains or soybeans, I don't know. Okay, so what is happening? Some toxins are getting to, if liver cannot remove them quickly from the blood, they are stored in adipose tissue, and then adipose tissue, But again, it is protective, but problems that again, if you are fasting, if you try to reduce your fat amount, then you feel terrible because toxins are go to your brain, go to your liver. Liver cannot remove a lot of toxins, so you suffer a lot. So what else? Adipose tissue is what is not fat is equal. Visceral fat around abdominal organs is metabolically active and highly inflammatory due to accumulation of senescent cells secreting cytokines and they drive chronic inflammation, insulin resistance, cardiovascular disease, and neurodegenerations. Okay, so if you have fat, not only subcutaneous or not only skin fat, but in the around your organs, abdominal organs, this is very, very, very harmful. Subcutaneous fat. So subcutaneous fat is in skin. It is considered, especially for women, no problem. Just it is actually kind of protection from cold and protection from starving. Okay, so you see visceral fat, even it may happen so that you have visceral fat but not subcutaneous fat, so it is like people will not see that you are fatty, that you have obesity, but accumulation of visceral fat is very bad for health, and in some countries like India, so people can be slim but have visceral fat inside. So you will see a shape of the figure. So if the belly is large in size, then visceral fat is inside, even if you don't have this subcutaneous fat. So what else? If fat accumulation is a response to toxin storage to remove toxins from blood, then simply reducing calories fails. This is what I say. It triggers hunger. It is reducing slow down metabolism, and during fasting and or high intensity interval training or high intensity exercise, it can flood the bloodstream with stored toxins, and this explains the poor long-term success of low-calorie diets with carbohydrates as the main source of energy. Pardon. Okay, you see all the recommendation of these medical professionals to follow the diet with carbohydrates as the main source of energy are failure, complete failure. So you cannot remove your fat, cannot reduce adipose tissue with this diet, which is highly recommended. Okay. What else? Role of fructose. Fructose is from sucrose, and soft drinks and fruit juices is metabolized primarily in the liver. It is not cannot be used as source of energy in the body, in the cells of your body. It is metabolized in the liver, and excessive intake of fructose. So you eat too much sweet fruits, for example, or you use too much sucrose, and you drink soft drinks which are mostly fortified with fructose. So, and then what is happening? The excessive intake is leading to non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, because again, liver is already getting a lot of stress to remove toxins from your blood, but plus fructose, it is so dangerous. Not to mention that fructose reacts with oxidized polyunsaturated fatty acids very easy. And then these products of this reaction, so-called advanced glycation end products, accumulate in your body, and you cannot remove them. It goes to atherosclerosis. So again, it is alcohol and fructose. They do the same. They destroy your liver. Accumulation of visceral fat is increasing, and the risk of diabetes and heart disease is increasing. Okay, so this is what happening. So high fructose diet leads to insulin resistance, and it is so many. So you have to remove fructose. You stop eating sugar. Stop drinking. Stop drinking soft drinks. I understand fructose gives you. So it works like cocaine. It makes you happy, and makes you fatty. But again, if you if you eat some fruits, not much, but some fruits during the season, it may be okay. But the consequences. But now sweet fruits are available all year round, and I came to Thailand, and these fruits are cheap and all year available. So I was eating a lot of fruits and vegetables. I got so many complications. I got the psoriasis, and I got overweight. So it was disaster. So only when I moved first to ketogenic diet, it was year 2020, maybe 2019, and then I started to feel better. But only this modified carnivore diet is the way to go. So, okay, mainstream dietary advice exacerbates the problem by promoting so-called heart healthy seed oils, which introduce more polyunsaturated fatty acids and toxins. Again, the recommendation are completely opposite to what it should be. So again, medical professionals intentionally, or not intentionally, they recommend opposite. Not in all, but in most of the scientific publications, if they are done honestly, it is demonstrated that polyunsaturated fatty acids and seed oils are full of toxins, full of these phytosterols. The consumption of them leads to obesity. Okay, focusing solely on caloric reduction, which does not address the qualitative toxicity of the diet. So if your diet is toxic, you cannot, you have to change your diet. So overlooking evidence that low carb diets with animal fats as the main source of energy, like a carnivore diet, can improve metabolic health despite increasing LDL particles count. Okay, if you consume fatty meat and animal fat like butter, like lard, like pork, fatty pork, your LDL is shooting up, but it is actually better for health, because LDL particles, they deliver fat to the cells of your body to be used as source of energy. So again, this is, and they make it so that they call it cholesterol is bad. Cholesterol is absolutely important part of your diet. Without cholesterol, we cannot be smart, we cannot live long. Cholesterol is absolutely important for hormone production, to keep our cells, the membranes of our cells elastic, especially in the brain. And without cholesterol, you will get this amnesia and Alzheimer's. Okay, this is again, but okay, so there are many benefits of carnivore diet. So if you stop eating fruits and vegetables, then you will lose weight, and you will have better energy, and you will sleep better, and mental health, especially mental health, will improve so much. Your brain will work so much better, and will be no problem with hormones, with your libido, no problem. And gut health would improve. This is the enthusiast of the carnivore diet. They tell it is true, but it is true for young people, relatively young people, people in age like 60 and more, maybe 50 and more. They cannot follow the strict carnivore diet. They need modification of the carnivore diet. I was talking about it in my videos, and okay, just again, what I propose the diet which is optimal for longevity. It is carnivore diet with easy to digest animal protein and with a lot of animal fat, but it has also some more supplements like laxatives, like resistant starch, etc. Okay, let's go. So, proposed protocol for reduction of fat and improvement of health. The logical solution is not to starve your body by calorie restriction and fasting, but to stop toxic inflow and support the detoxification. It is multi-phase lifestyle protocol. What is I recommend? Eliminate all, I repeat, all industrial seed oils and processed foods containing them. Also, it is avocado and olive oil recommended, but just mind that it is first it is very expensive. Second, it is very much, if it is oil, it is very much fake. It is nowadays you cannot trust that labels. What else? Practice food separation. If you consume high carbohydrates like buckwheat is it has some vitamins, and it is not bad actually. It is not bad, but at least you have to not mix them with proteins in the same meal to optimize digestion and minimize gut health. Like but you eat the porridge from buckwheat, eat it with butter. Yeah, it is good, it's delicious. Tubers, yeah, in principle you can eat smashed potatoes. I would not recommend it, but okay, if you eat smashed potatoes, don't mix with meat or other proteins. Prioritize fats from ruminant animals. It is grass-fed butter, grass-fed beef, butter, and ghee, and again these healthy fats. And also free-range eggs are good sources of healthy fat. So use monounsaturated fruit oils, avocado, and olive oils cautiously. Again, first, it is again so many people are buying, they can afford to buy fruit oils. The only fruit oil which I consume, it is coconut oil, and it is mostly from coconut which grow on my farm. So I eat coconuts, and they are full of this coconut oil, and they are good for health, good. But other nuts or seeds I will not consume. So it is recommended to use some seeds as a source of healthy fat. It is not healthy at all. Okay, so you see industrial seed oils to avoid. Canola oil, corn oil. Again, it is just everything, everything. It is some are more dangerous, some are less. And mind that if you eat on streets, they use these seed oils. So try to avoid street food. So cook for yourself. I don't see any problem in it because I eat once a day after exercises about 5 o'clock afternoon, and I eat meat and eggs and mushrooms and so it's and eating even grilled meat is okay, but additionally you have to use laxatives, some mild laxatives to shorten the gut transit time, so to make it so that the digestive connective tissues in meat are not digested, of course, in older age, and they can stuck in your colon, and it takes a week maybe to digest them. And this digestion goes actually that pathogens use it as food and produce toxins and ammonia, and you'll get constipation. You get a lot of problems. So you have to use these laxatives to remove these undigested connective tissues from your colon. So again, the free range, keeping free range cows so healthy, so good for environment. It is incredible. But again, it is activists of this climate change. They blame cows that farting cows, and they produce more ammonia and more this methane than cars. Guys, it is not so. Again, they actually so good for environment. I wish, and with robots and drones, we can make it this farming, this sustainable farming as a base of food production. But instead, the governments follow these recommendations of these medical professionals, and they are killing. Actually, they're shortening the lifespan of humans. Again, if you follow this World Economic Forum, everything what they propose, it is to shorten your lifespan. These people don't need all the people, so you have to work till maybe to 65 or 67, and then you have to die. In their opinion, they don't need all old people. I am 68, and so. Okay, maybe I am the last generation who will get pensions, but not for long, maybe 30 years, and then there will be all these pension funds will go bankrupt. So we have to do something with this. And I moved to Thailand because I was thinking I will have a sustainable life, and it worked. It worked. I got 10 hectares of farming land, and was doing many other things in farming. I love farming, so I was keeping catfish, I was keeping chicken for eggs and for meat, I was keeping ducks, I was keeping geese also for meat and eggs. Pardon. Okay, so, and unfortunately, situation in Taiwan such that foreigner has no civil rights, zero, absolutely zero. All your investment you will lose sooner or later. I am lucky that I invested not millions of American dollars, but less, and I lost it. But okay, I lost it, but actually it gave me some freedom. So instead of farming, I started to go to make more. I started to work more for this project, but not always. It was not always good because again, so it's if you want to go for retirement in Taiwan or other countries, don't marry local. This is my advice. It is because again, they all people want money, and if your girl see that you are working ATM, and it is very costly. 1,000 American dollars a month. It is minimum what you will lose with your girlfriend or wife, and with a wife you are in danger to lose all your savings, all, without any benefits for you. So I love girls, I love Thai people, but again, you have to understand that Thailand is feudal society. There are some common people like peasants in feudal Europe. They have limited rights, and they just Thai schools teach kids only to obey the ruling class, and the ruling class is just like feudals. They getting all money, they rule the country, and they rule country not for the best of the rest of people, and especially foreigners are considered as potential criminals in this country. So mind that, never buy here anything, rent. But okay, this is okay. So again, mushrooms and resistant starch, you have to add to this carnivore diet as prebiotics to modify a strict carnivore diet, shorten the gut transit time, remove toxins, because again, resistant starch is work as an absorbent, and it helps to remove toxins and secondary bioacids from your colon to avoid the toxins will go back to your blood. And so it is very, very important to consume enough of the resistant starch, raw resistant starch, such as raw potato starch as powder. Okay, so again, this is a free-range chicken. It is actually, I was doing even better. Not so many chicken, but I was doing so the chicken were able to eat insects and grass, and but also I was feeding them that's healthy food, and so the eggs they produced were absolutely fantastic quality. You cannot buy such eggs in grocery shops. And the same ducks, the same geese was super quality. Unfortunately, again, my relatives destroyed all this my businesses, but I don't complain, because again, I can buy duck eggs of good quality from locals who keep the ducks, no problem. Eggs from chicken I don't eat. And okay, whatever. So what you have gut microbes. If you need dietary fiber, but the only dietary fiber which is healthy, the only which is not damaging your epithelium layer in the gut, in the thin intestine and small intestine and large intestine. It is the only it is resistant starch from like raw potato starch, like this. So again, whole grains. This I just tell you. I give this slide. It is not my recommendation. It is a recommendation of medical professionals. They're mostly wrong. The only that what this digestion-resistant starch you have to use. The only healthy digestive starch, digestive this fibers. Okay, what else? Supplementary and lifestyle support. So employ antioxidants like quercetin, fisetin, vitamin E. Vitamin E, especially to skin, it helps to combat lipid peroxidation. But mind that using of vitamin E can shorten your lifespan, actually, because antioxidants, they are not extending your lifespan. Quercetin and fisetin, yes, but vitamin E, not so much. Okay, but yet again, you can include some vitamin E, especially for skin treatment. And then what else? Implement intermittent fasting. Like I eat only afternoon, once a day. So it is one meal a day. I eat a lot of 6-7 eggs, big size eggs, and grilled meat and other meat. So beef liver, especially good. Okay, then, but this intermittent fasting, if you follow carnivore diet, then you stimulate autophagy every day, especially during the night. You can stimulate autophagy and cleaning of your body from toxins. It helps to also recycle damaged components and cells. Okay, water fasting with butter and electrolytes. Yeah, you can do it. You can do it. So if I go elsewhere, if I travel, I don't eat. I only take butter and maybe electrolytes, but I don't eat. Maybe 1-2 days I don't eat. Maybe 3 days if I travel. Exercise strategically. Perform intense aerobic exercise and in fasted state to further enhance autophagy and fat mobilization. But again, you need adaptation. You have to adapt your body to consumption of fat as source of energy. It will take 4 months, maybe 6 months, no less. Otherwise, if you will suddenly start this fasting, and your deposits a lot of toxins, consequence can be not nice. Okay, this is so you know what you mean. 1 meal a day is what I do. It's easy. And what else? Support metabolism and glucose control. What else? Consider supplement like berberine, metformin, vitamin B3, and DHEA. Okay, metformin now I don't recommend because it is. I tried it. Berberine works much better. Vitamin B3 as nicotinic acid is absolutely necessary. DHEA. You can use it if you are in the beginning, if you are on ketogenic diet, not on carnivore diet, but with carnivore diet with a lot of animal fats, DHEA make no improvement. But in principle, it is this berberine and special berberine improves insulin sensitivity and improve metabolic rate. So what else? Use citric and malic acid with meals. Again, lemon juice is very common in Thailand. If you eat meat, eat it with lemon juice, for example, or fish. It improves the dish and it is better for digestion. Also, you can use so-called green papaya salad in Thailand. Very, very healthy. Very, very healthy. Much recommended. So if you can buy it and use it, do it with meals, especially with meat. Prioritize 7+ hours of sleep and consider aids like melatonin, niacin. Niacin, it is vitamin B3, to improve quality of sleep. Yes, I take niacin before I go to bed, and it helps me to fall asleep in a matter of minutes. Melatonin, unfortunately, I used to take melatonin up to 2 grams a day before going to sleep, but now I cannot buy melatonin. Cannot buy melatonin because what I get from China, it is all fake. I don't know where to buy. Okay. So, but if you can buy melatonin and niacin, nicotinic is very beneficial for health. Okay, so 7 hours. I sleep actually 8-9 hours. Yeah, some days 9 hours, some days 8 hours, and it is good to recover. Manage stress and mindset. Reduce exposure to disturbing news and social stress. Cultivate a purposeful, productive lifestyle. Yeah, good idea. Recognize systemic problem, understand that mainstream dietary and medical advice often influenced by commercial interest of the food industry and big pharma, and they do not prioritize health and longevity, so be mind this. Okay, stress management, okay, music, etc. So conclusion, obesity is rethinking from a personal failure of willpower to physiological adaptation to a toxic food environment dominated by highly processed foods, vegetables, grains, beans, and industrial seed oils. The path to reducing obesity and its health risk, therefore, lies not in chronic calorie counting, but in fundamental dietary shift, eliminating these polyunsaturated fatty acids with toxins, supporting the body natural detoxification pathways through fasting. I mean, again, first you have to move to ketogenic diet, and then only then fasting. Shortening gut transit time with mild laxatives, this mega doses of vitamin C, and also the potato starch work as in part at least as laxative. Lactulose, if you can buy it. So improving gut health with prebiotics and focusing on metabolic health over weight loss alone. And this approach, exemplified by modified carnivore diet, is presented as logical, self-tested way to reduce toxic burden, low inflammation, and potentially drives out. It potentially removes the age-related diseases. Okay, so again, mushrooms with eggs, very healthy. Okay, you can go to the source of information, make your own research, and too long video. Okay, so mind that I'm scientist, so I'm not medical professional. I'm not supposed to give you any advice. So if you enjoy this video, press like and bell button, Subscribe to my channel, share this video with your friends. If you want support more financially, we can talk about this with email. You can find email in the description of the video. Have a wonderful day. Ciao, ciao.